everyone. Welcome to this, the Microsoft Day of Learning. My name's Pam Curry, and I'm one of the team here at Tablet Academy Scotland. We're using the hashtag MDL21 for this event, and it's a packed programme of sessions we've got lined up for you today. All of them focused on Microsoft in education. We've got some great apps and approaches that we recommend for learning and teaching. You can choose from a lineup of 16 different mini workshops. You can watch them live on the streams, or you can catch up when it suits you. We're streaming all these sessions through YouTube today, but they're all on the Tablet Academy Scotland website on our events page. You can use the short URL bit.ly/TA events. It's coming up just in a minute on our little outro video. So you might be wondering who we are at Tablet Academy Scotland, why we're doing this. We've partnered with Microsoft Education this year to be the regional development partner for Scotland. And that means we're doing a whole lot of support and training for schools and education across Scotland. And we're honoured to be doing that work. We work with other industry partners too. And really our mission is to support digital transformation in learning. It's what we care about, and it's what we get really excited about. Do you know what? We can geek out sometimes on little apps and, animations and games and whatever else. But what we're truly passionate about here, and I speak for everyone in our team, what we really care about is the impact that all of this digital work has on children and young people. And it's that impact that I just want to reflect on for a few minutes to launch us off today. So it's all about the learners. I mean, this is a deep-rooted and emotional mission here for us. And we suspect that it's a deep-rooted and emotional mission for all educators. Every educator we've ever met cares deeply about children and young people and their learning and the progress that they're making. So we see digital transformation make that learning experience better for learners. Then I think it becomes quite urgent that we make the most of it. Let's think about accessibility tools, for example. So tools like Immersive Reader, screen readers, these kind of things. Immersive Reader is everywhere now in the Microsoft tools. It's been rolled out. It's in Teams. It's in OneNote. It's everywhere. And that's really powerful because it enables us to add content and to enable that content to be accessed by anyone, regardless of, reading difficulties, because they can play it. They can play it in different languages. We can have, the yellow filter over the top. It opens up learning for so many of our young people who just may have been excluded in the past. And the fact that it's integrated across, Teams comments and in emails, and it just makes learning accessible to everyone. And if we're not using these tools to present learning to young people, then we're actually not providing an equitable experience. So that's why we care. And I'm sure when you see the potential of some of these tools, everyone will become really excited to embed them. Another thing where we've seen technology have a massive impact is on learner engagement. It genuinely excites young people to have their learning delivered in a digital format, to allow them to speak to other people online and to discuss learning online. It excites them, it engages them. And you know what frustrates me? Sometimes people undervalue that. It's just engagement. We're interested in more than engagement. But do you know what frustrates me is I can't see, learning is going to happen if we have engaged learners, if they're focused and their attention is on learning and they're curious to find out more. And these positive behaviours have got a massive impact on learning and on attainment and achievement in learning. So I don't think we should ever undervalue engagement. As well as the positive impact on learners, one of the things that I care deeply about is the positive impact that this digital revolution, digital transformation can have on you as an educator. I've done your job. We've all done your job in this team. We empathise. We know how hard it is. It's really difficult to feel on top of your job sometimes. as an educator, because there's always something that requires urgent attention. And I feel that digital transformation is really our friend here. We can, it's painful in the beginning. We need to change the way we're doing things. So we need to create digital resources and assignments and learning experiences. But once we do that, we can copy them, we can clone them, we can remix them, we can reuse the classes and all the work next year. It just makes it so much easier going forward. And so when you think about artificial intelligences and automation, think about the productivity benefits that they might bring. And a little bit of time and effort and training could build really sustainable, automated digital workflows. And that'll free up a lot of our time-consuming tasks. It's doing it for us now as a business, and it could do it in schools and education as well. We can get data and insights as a business on our kind of marketing and on our content that we put out into the world. And you can do that too with the content that you put out to learners. Many of the apps and tools that we're going to look at today have got insights and analytics built into them. And you can really begin to build a big picture of how your young people are doing. I also get really excited by the potential of digital tools to help us personalize learning, to help us create, customized assignments, customized resources that are different for groups of pupils than other groups, or different for individuals because they need them to be different. We just love to see the way this excites learners. One-to-one devices and flawless web access in school is a must. It's an absolute must. And we share your frustration. I know that there are thousands of educators who are in school now frustrated by the lack of Wi-Fi or the quality of the Wi-Fi or the lack of devices. I think they're coming. I think all this is coming. It's a priority now for everyone. But we also understand how much it's holding you back just now. So, maybe now we use the time to test and to pilot. When we're doing new things as a business, we test them, we pilot them, we try them out, we see what works, we get feedback and we make changes. And maybe that's where we are right now in education. Maybe this is the time to experiment, to get feedback from pupils, to see what works. And then we're going to build a tool set that when we do have the one-to-one devices, when we do have the internet access everywhere, we'll really be able to transform learning and your job as a teacher. So that's why I get excited. So let's talk about the pandemic for a little bit and where we are, how that affected things for us. I mean, one thing I want to just make clear here is what the pandemic did. It forced us, everyone, all businesses, all sectors, it forced us into full-on remote distance working. And that was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for everyone. It was overwhelming. And I speak for myself there as well. I think it's impacted people's mental health. I've known friends of mine who quite literally gave up their jobs because they were expected to deliver training all day, every day, because that's what they did. And when you stop doing it in person, you then do it online. But, how soul destroying to sit and deliver training in front of a computer for, 8 hours a day. Lack of digital expertise was an issue, of course, in the pandemic, and understandably so. The pace of change in education is generally quite slow. All these other, procedures and policies that we have to do, they come quickly at us and can be quite overwhelming. But digital transformation-wise, pace of change has been slow. I've been working in this world since 2010. I was a global development officer back then for Education Scotland, and I was in this digital transformation role, and it's now 2021. So full on 11 years later, and it only now feels like we've got that kind of momentum that we've been trying to get for all those years. And the pandemic's largely responsible for that. So it wasn't a priority for us before, but the pandemic forced us to make digital a priority. But it was full-on distance learning, and that was something none of us ever wanted or prepared for. Just not good practice in learning. Full-on remote doesn't tend to work. Studies have been done. Data has been gathered. Blended learning, though, is a different matter. all these parent groups and some education leaders started to, put out demands or suggest that we should be on camera delivering live lessons for, full periods. Some leaders did expect that, and some parent groups started to demand it. And that's just not fair, and it's actually not correct in terms of where the opportunity and impact lies. Speaking to people for an hour on a camera isn't going to have the learning impact that me speaking for 10 minutes, introducing a video lesson, adding some activities, and then using digital tools to feedback on them. That has impact. Offering it asynchronously, so it's available anytime, that has impact. But live delivery constantly all day, not as much impact. So that wasn't helpful. In Scotland, we were really lucky because we have Glow. And when you think about what Glow does, it provides access to two of the most, globally celebrated productivity or online work tools. You've got Google Workspace and you've got Office 365. Having those there in place, ready to use, was a huge benefit for us in Scotland. And not every school had that. So we're really lucky that we had those tools there to use. So let's learn from this pandemic experience. We've all been through it. I think one of the biggest learnings was the issue of equity. Again, we come back to equity. And as usual, it was the children and young people in areas of deprivation who suffered most. The data is all coming out now, and it tells us the negative impact of the pandemic on them was as much as 3 times more damaging than it was for other people. So we need to focus our efforts now on making that equitable experience happen for everyone. We need to provide devices. It's a right now, I think, for our young people that they need a personal device. And I think we can only have impact when we have that personalised device and we have flawless internet at home and in school. That's it. These are the requirements. And then we need a profession skilled to make the most of that. And I know that we've got the profession keen to do that. So I think it's marvellous that people are enthusiastic about the potential we have here to change. And I also really empathise with your frustration. Our work is all about supporting the blended classroom now. There's a real desire to make the most of these tools. There's a real desire to personalise learning. And we're also hoping that we can help leaders transform their work, their schools, the way they manage staff and projects, and automate some of that work as well for school leaders, for admin staff. There's sessions coming up on that today as well. This change is hard. There's a lot to take in. There's so many, even within Office 365, there are dozens of different apps. We're only at the beginning of our transformation journey. These are early days. If you imagine the evolution of our world, we are still at the kind of ape in terms of digital transformation. We've not really made the most of automation or artificial intelligence, but it's quite literally changing the way we live our lives. Where we get excited is a difference that can make to our work. It becomes easier. It frees us up to do meaningful stuff, to have the conversations with people and to get insights into understanding and engagement through data. If we do this, we can really create a powerful and collaborative learning experience where we're developing critical skills for future jobs, actually. So when you think about it, hybrid work is here to stay. Global teams are here to stay. The norm is becoming work from anywhere. And our learners need to become confident hybrid workers. And that means understanding different cultures and understanding how to work in a global team. But it means that learning experiences need to be individualized, unique to learners' skills and interests. And that was really hard to do before, and it's easy now. We can make visual and engaging and immersive learning content really easily. We don't have to be, experienced video producers. We can do it easily with apps and tools that make it easy. 3D models, animations, automations. I mean, think about these things are much more powerful than clip art on a worksheet. And actually, I think our learners, because of the other worlds they live in, their gaming worlds and, you know, Netflix worlds, these demand high quality, visually engaging content. And I think that's where we need to go. We need to go beyond clip art and word art, and we need to go beyond PowerPoint, or certainly make more of PowerPoint in terms of the, you know, video content and animations we can bring in. The next steps for us as educators is to embrace all of these exciting advances in technologies, and we're here to help. That's what today is all about. I'm going to show you a range of tools for impact in your classroom, little nuggets and tips and advice that we can bring you from our experience of seeing that impact in schools. There's a lot on Office 365, but we've also got 3 sessions on Minecraft, which is super engaging. And if you haven't seen Minecraft, really worth checking out those sessions. The potential is phenomenal, and children and young people really like the world. We've got Canva and Flipgrid too, and we're going to look at some Microsoft project management tools that have just come out, well, fairly recently come out. Things like Microsoft Lists, things like Power Automate, these tools that could automate out the work and free us up to do other things. It's going to be a packed agenda, but just remember you can watch anytime you like, catch up on YouTube. We're streaming live, but they're instantly YouTube videos. You can get them all on our Tablet Academy events page. And remember, that is bit.ly/TA events. Big shout out today to Perth and Kinross, Dundee and Fife councils. You're all in service days today, and I really hope you're joining us live for some of the sessions. If you're catching up from other local authorities, we really hope you appreciate the way we've done this and enabled the catch up straight away. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited by what we're doing today, and we've got some brilliant sessions lined up for you. Enjoy.